Welcome to today's show, a philosophical survival guide to fandom. I'm your studio host, Ravi. Today, we are honored to have renowned philosophical professor, Professor Dan, joining us on the show. We are about to begin our first experiment. Is an idol just want to grab a meal? Will fans actually let her do it?
Hi, I'm your field reporter, Rachel. Let's begin our first experiment.
Target spotter, she's heading out to the convenience store.
Why are you following her?
Because I'm her fan.
But she just buy a bottle of mineral water.
Exactly, I need to know which brand she drink.
Actually, liking artists doesn't mean you have to know everything about them.
You're not a real fan at all.
I think a real fan appreciates artists for their work without invading their private life.
I already have a headline. Idol favorite brand of mineral water review.
Sometimes I really don't understand. People say they like me because I sing on stage. So why do they say I need to own me off stage as well? I just wanted to buy a drink.
I know, can we take a photo together?
Sorry, I'm on a break right today.
But we always supported you.
So does that mean I'm not allowed to have a day off?
Experiment 1 has come to an end. Let's hand the program back to our studio host.
Thank you, Rachel. What this experiment reveals is that in fandom culture, admiration can easily turn into possession. And that is exactly the focus of today's discussion, a philosophical survival guide to fandom. How can we live and admire someone while still respecting their personal boundaries and their freedom as an individual?
Many fans believe, because I love you, I have the right to know everything about you. But philosophy asks a more fundamental question. Does loving someone give us the right to enter their private life? According to Richard Enix, a person of good characters understands the importance of respecting other people's boundaries. True admission is not getting as close as possible. It is about showing respect while maintaining an appropriate distance.
From the perspective of the virtual ethic, fandom is not about how close you can get to an idol. Rather, it is about what type of person you become while admiring someone. Healthy admiration is about finding the balance between the appreciation and respect. We are now about to begin our second experiment. Should fans chase an idol car?
Hi, I'm your field reporter. Our second experiment is about to begin.
Finally, I can go home.
Jenny.
You're alive, just look at me!
Why do you keep on following me?
Because this is love.
This is love and I really don't love you.
Jenny!
If someone follow you for every single day and kept chasing after you, will you really call that love?
But she is an idol.
An idol is still a human being. They deserve their own private life too.
Experiment 2 has come to an end. Let's hand the program back to our studio host.
Thank you, Rachel. From the perspective of the utilitarianism, a moral action is one that maximizes overall happiness. When love begins to affect an idol's personal safety, mental well-being, and even deprives their basic freedom and personal space, it is no longer simply an act of support. It may become a form of harm. This reminds us that in fandom culture, the way we express our admiration must take its consequences into account. Genuine love should allow both sides to be fair.
Utilitarianism asks us this: fan gain happiness while the idol loses safety and freedom. So which side actually gain more happiness? If 100 fans are happy, but one person has lived in fear every single day, can that really be called the greatest happiness? Social philosophy tells us that group constantly reinforce one another's behavior. One person would never chase a car, but when 10 people do it together, it suddenly seems normal. Sometimes we don't act because we truly want to, we act simply because everyone else is doing it.
At the same time, social philosophy reminds us that group behavior can continuously reinforce individual actions, causing behavior that were once unreasonable to greatly be seen as normal. In fandom culture, many behaviors that are considered normal swayed by supporting an idea. In fact, social phenomena shape and amplify by opinions and collective identity. We are now about to begin the first discussion. What if an idol involved in a scandal?
Hi, I'm your field reporter. We are now going to interview the blind fan, the rational fan, the reporter, and the passerby to hear their opinions on what they would think if an idol were involved in a scandal.
From my point of view, I don't care whether it's true or not. I still believe in her. I have supported her so many years and I was sure she know do something like that. Even if it's true, it's a personal matter. I will continue to support her no matter what.
I believe that if the allegations are true, then she should take responsibility for her action. Liking someone doesn't mean blindly accepting everything they do. I will still judge the situation based on facts and principles.
This scandal is a good point for views. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter, as long as we can caught people's attention. We'll publish the story first. Once the traffic starts pouring in, we'll clarify the truth later.
I'm not really into the idol culture and I don't know much about this celebrity, but if she really did something wrong, she should face the consequences. At the same time, the things happen on internet are often exaggerated, so it's hard to know that it is actually true or false.
That concludes our interviews. Let's hand the program back to our studio host.
Thank you, Rachel. From the interview we just heard, we can see that when an idol becomes involved in a scandal, different groups respond in a very different way. Some people choose to support the idol entirely out of its emotion. Some insist on making rational judgment based on fact. Some focus on the news value of the story, while others remain detached as outside observers. This reflects that in fandom culture, the same event can be interpreted in completely different ways depends on one perspective.
This brings us to deontology. Deontology argues that whether an action is morally right or wrong depends not on these consequences, but on the action itself. If bullying is wrong, then no matter how much money a person earns afterward or how many people they help in the future, none of that can erase the moral wrongness of the original acts.
This reminds us that when making moral judgment, we cannot rely solely on our emotions or the outcome of an action to decide what is right or wrong. Deontology emphasizes the moral nature of the action itself. If an action is inherently wrong, then no amount of benefit or positive consequence can make it morally right. We are now about to begin our final experiment. Who does an idol really belong to?
Our final experiment is about to begin.
Oh my god! Guys, Jenny is sitting right next to me. Hi Jenny, oh my god.
Please stop filming me.
Everyone miss you so much.
Thank you for apparently eating right now.
For we have spent so much money supporting you.
So,
So you should spend time with us.
but why sells my music, not my life?
It's actually what we pay for our audience and we're not reliable. Then there will be no idol. There will be no friends. Support should be built on mutual respect, not mutual possession.
Experiment 3 has come to an end. Let's hand the program back to our studio host.
Thank you, Rachel. This experiment revealed that the central conflict between fandom culture is actually a philosophical question, as the relationship between fans and idol is a consumer relationship or a human relationship. From the perspective of deontology, a person should never be treated morally as a means to satisfy someone else's desire. Even when a relationship is built upon admiration or support, it must always begin with respect from the other person's freedom and dignity.
Existentialism teaches us that every person is a free individual. Although idols are public figures, they still have lives of their own. The real danger is not loving an idol, it is making that idol the entire meaning of your life. Because once we do that, we beginning expecting others to live according to our own expectation instead of respecting them as independent human beings.
The perspective of existentialism fits the discussion we have had today. It reminds us that every individual, including idols, is a free person with the rights to make their own decisions and follow their own path in life. This shows us that healthy fandom is not about using someone else's life to give meaning to our own. Rather, it is about continuing to admire them while respecting each other's freedom. We are now about to begin the final decision of today's show. Do idols bring us happiness or trouble?
Hi, I'm your field reporter. We are now going to interview the blind fan, the rational fan, the reporter, and the passerby to hear their thoughts on one question. Is being a fan truly a source of happiness?
Happiness. Every day I vote for her, stream her content, stay out late boosting on her ranking, and support all projects. I feel like I have finally found the meaning of my life. But whenever someone criticizes me, I can't sleep well. I can't even concentrate on my exam. I have started to realize I'm happy because of her, and I'm unhappy because of her too. I always thought I was supporting idol, but in reality, I've handed over control of my happiness to someone else. I don't even know if that is the right way to live life.
I don't think there's anything wrong with admiring someone's work because art truly has the power to inspire people. However, just because I appreciate an artist's work doesn't mean I believe everything they do is right. True admiration means keeping your ability to think independently without giving up your own values. I can support them, admire them, and celebrate their success, but I won't change my value because of something they say, nor will I doubt myself simply because others criticize them. Being a major fan doesn't mean losing yourself, it means continuing to think independently while appreciating someone else.
I've noticed that yesterday people were saying this idol is the best. Today they are saying cancel him. Many people aren't really following idols, they are just following the trends. Social philosophy tells us that people naturally follow the crowd because it feels safer and reduces the fear of being left out. But if everyone simply follows the crowd, it's difficult for anyone to follow their own opinion.
I don't really follow celebrity, but I think that being a fan is supposed to be something enjoyable. But if it starts to affecting your emotion every day, maybe it isn't happiness anymore. I think that liking someone is help you to become a better person, not allow them to affect your emotion.
That concludes our interviews. Let's hand the program back to our studio host.
Thank you, Rachel. From the interviews we just heard, we can see that the experience of being a fan is both complex and contradictory. It can bring happiness, purpose, and a sense of belonging. At the same time, it can also lead to anxiety, emotional instability, and even affect a personal daily life.
Utilitarianism asks us, if an idol works bring happiness to millions of people, does that outweigh realistic? Deontology answer, a wrong is still a wrong. Good consequences can never turn a wrong action into the right one. Richard Ennick reminds us that a person who truly deserves our respect is not only talents, but also possess good moral characters. And existentialism teaches us not to place the meaning of our life in someone else, because only you can decide what you live for.
Through the four philosophical perspectives we have explored today, this program has become about much more than simply fandom. Utilitarianism helps us recognize the cause of happiness and harm. Deontology reminds us that right and wrong cannot be justified by good overcome. Spiritual ethics emphasize respect and good character rather than blind devotion. And existentialism reminds us that every individual is responsible for giving meaning to their own life and should never place that responsibility entirely on someone else. Therefore, the purpose of this program is not to tell people that loving an idol is wrong. Instead, it is remind us that whenever our emotions lose their boundaries, connection can become dependence, admiration can become possession, and happiness can become something we can no longer control. So, are you following an idol or losing yourself?